So the bay actually only covers about 44 miles of coast, but the entire watershed is roughly 660 square miles. It's much, much bigger. And that's one of the things that's really important to realize about these systems, is that it's not just the bay that is at the center of this. It's actually a larger system of waterways. Eutrophication is sometimes described as the aging of an ecosystem in freshwater. Here, eutrophication is more connected with pollution.
In this area where we are in an estuary, which is a combination of salt and fresh water, nitrogen is the big culprit.
This nitrogen is really creating havoc because of the eelgrass and all the other submerged aquatic vegetations that were really important in the bay and still are, but have been basically shaded out or covered by, smothered literally, by these algae.
Here we have a lot of algae and things like that that grow normally in these waters, but when you start to pollute them with an overloading of nutrients, ultimately that productivity increases and the ecosystem starts to fail.
And this fertilization of the bay is what's happened. It's making these algae and plants grow. It's nourishing them. And when they do, when these algae grow, they cover the eelgrass beds like a rug would cover your lawn. And when you take up a rug off your lawn, you've got yellow grass or dead grass. It's the same thing in the bay.
So the small rooting plants and things like clams that would normally live in that ecosystem now can't, because they're covered by this detritus, this dead material that is coating the bottom of the bay. And that habitat's an important spawning ground for flounder and fluke and many of the species of commercial fish that we rely on here in the bay.
The eelgrass was down south of La Valette and it was so high, it was coming right up to the top, and now it's gone. I can't understand what happened to that. It just disappeared.
Remove that eelgrass, you've taken the habitat away, and you have nothing to start out.
Here's the eelgrass, that's the healthy stuff that should be rooted in the bottom, and here's the intestinalis that you can see is floating on the surface. Here's another one of the culprits, it's just drifting by. This is a brown algae, and this one is growing right now. We're in the middle of August, and so this one is coming up, and you'll see this covering over the strands of eelgrass. And so it's becoming a problem because, again, it's shading out the eelgrass. Eelgrass is rooted, so it has to go down, the nitrogen has to go down into the soil and then come up through the roots. This takes it directly, this takes it indirectly. So this grass, the eelgrass, has a much harder time than this brown algae.
We're looking at algae on eelgrass, or we're looking at the frequency and distribution of blue claw crabs or soft clams. You know, there is a linkage between that and the quality of human life.